one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, has council had the opportunity to review the meeting minutes of August 7th? If so, I'll ask for a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
You need a second. I wasn't here.
I'll second it.
Motion from Robin, second from Mike. Any discussion? Those in favor can state aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Any changes to this evening's agenda? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the set agenda.
I motion we approve the set agenda.
Second.
Motion from Becky, second from Robin. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Guest and open forum. This evening, we have a life-saving award presentation from Chief Balloon.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. You know, when we have these events, I just always wonder, what do you say? And just to kind of, the gravity of these incidents and stuff like that. So I'll say this for your benefit. You know, thankfully, these things don't happen very often, but when they do, thankfully, we have people that are always willing to step up and take the call and do what needs to be done. So in this case, last May, Preston Voigt, now this is becoming kind of a common thing all of a sudden for Preston. The second one this year, award? Yeah. So, again, thankfully, we got people in our department, officers in our department that are willing to do what needs to be done. In this case, it's a life-saving award that we're presenting tonight. So I'll read the details and then we'll get Preston up here for a picture. But on May 13th, 2024, at approximately 2:01 a.m., Officer Preston Voigt was dispatched to a structure fire located in the 11,900 block of Grund Avenue in the city of Becker. Upon arrival to the area, Officer Voigt could see the glow of a fire from several blocks away, which is very true when you watch the video of this. You could see it from a long ways away. Flames are already through the roof and shooting about 20 feet into the air. He immediately updated dispatch of the seriousness of the fire. He was then able to hear a male person inside the residence yelling for help. Officer Voigt was unable to gain access or entrance to the residence on the one side due to the flames and the heat. Eventually, he was able to make entry into the residence through a broken patio door. Inside the residence, he encountered thick black smoke and visibility was extremely poor. Yelling for the male inside, Officer Voigt eventually did locate him. The person was located in a wheelchair and mobility was not good. Officer Voigt was able to move him to where the patio door was located, pulled the male out of the wheelchair and hoisted him to outside to the people that were standing near the doorway there. After the male was removed, he continued to check the area for another person and a dog. Later finding that the person was not present, but he was able to locate the dog and get the dog to safety. Once everyone was safe, Officer Voigt was seen by paramedics for smoke inhalation, but stayed on scene until others arrived. According to the Sheriff's Department dispatcher, Officer Voigt deserves recognition due to his excellent communication with responding personnel, as well as saving the person inside. For risking his own safety to ensure the safety of someone else, Officer Preston Voigt is awarded the Becker Police Department Life Saving Award.
Where do you want us? Back there?
I'll come down there so we're 3 and 3.
They want us in the picture
I
too?
don't know why.
I didn't do anything.
Stand to the side.
Like, we didn't do anything.
Put the chairs behind us.
Capture all of us?
Let's see, I can get Becky on her.
Just want me to stand over here?
Farther.
Just keep moving out.
There you go. All right, okay, 1, 2, 3.
Who am I looking at, for the love of God?
You can look at
Ooh.
All right.
You got it.
Paparazzi in here, Preston. Hey.
And as always, council, thank you for the support. I think everybody's gonna probably vacate as we typically do. So the rest of the business can get taken care of. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations again, and thank you for your service, Officer Boyd. All right, anyone else for guests in open forum then? Seeing no one, we're going to move into committee reports. So Excel Advisory Board meeting.
Basically, all we had was some updates of what's going on out the plant. The solar panels are supposed to be online in October,
Okay.
and they've got requests for 3 megs of power, which is, they can't do it. But that's basically it.
Okay. The Joint Fire Board is rescheduled for next week. And then how about Parks and Rec?
Park and Rec was
Canceled.
canceled.
Oh, all right. That concludes our committee reports for the week. How about Board Committee and Consultant Report? We will go into a squad car purchase. Lieutenant Lindblom.
Passing off the radio because
Uh-oh.
I'm working right now too, so. All right, good evening, Mayor, Council. I know it has not been that long since I was here presenting on our last squad car purchase. The request for the squad car for 2025 just comes a bit earlier than normal due to the delays in some of the manufacturing from Ford. Our 2024 car is yet to arrive, and we anticipate that it won't be here until the end of the year, thus pushing that one to almost 6 years of service. So in anticipation with that late delay, Ford made us aware of an ordering window that would close at the end of August, and we consulted with them about what that meant, and ultimately they said that 2025 squad car purchase wouldn't be arriving until after the new year anyway, and therefore we could get in line. And that brings us a little bit closer to our normal fleet rotation, which is typically in the beginning of a year. So we're just trying to kind of get a little bit ahead with the delays by starting this process a little bit earlier. That the squad car is in the CIP for next year's purchase for $57,000 as of right now. Total is $45,909.94. This is the exact same price and options as the squad car that we purchased in March. So nothing's changed, just trying to get it in the order line to get ahead. It was brought up and mentioned to Police Committee through Chief Balloon, who had no issues with that and moving forward. And again, just as a reminder, that isn't something that would be paid for within this year. It would just get billed out once it's received next fiscal year. With that, I'll take any questions you might have about it, but otherwise I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2469 for the purchase of our 2025 squad car from 1044.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2469 for the purchase of a 2025 police squad car, allowing Lieutenant Lindblom to enter into agreement with 1044 to St. Cloud.
I'll second it.
Motion from Becky, second from Mike. Any other discussion? With none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Administrator and staff reports. Becker Community Center flooring replacement. Bart.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I have a RCA here for replacement of a few sections of the community center floor. About 4 years ago, the floor got replaced throughout the whole facility in the common spaces, the lobby and the hallways. Previously, it was all carpeted. Once we switched over, the lobby spaces went to a vinyl flooring to kind of take on more of the elements and things that were getting tracked in and out of the facility. Through that process, for those of you that have been over there, you have noticed the floor has begun to look pretty awful. There's a glue that's constantly coming up that staff is trying to clean, trying to prevent from coming up and being tracked around the building. And through that process, we've had a few different flooring installers come and give us an idea of what is happening and why is that being caused. A few theories were a couple of glues, different types of glue mixing and not bonding. And then the kind of the most common thought was a moisture problem. So with that, we did a moisture testing, and as you could see, we had just in the main lobby area, we had a 97.4% moisture, and then over in the west side, right outside of the locker rooms, there was a 99.6, which is very problematic when most of your manufacturer recommendations are anywhere between a 75 to 80% cap as far as that moisture goes. So staff are recommending that those problematic areas get demoed out. Then we will get a moisture barrier put in and then reinstall. The plan is to reinstall kind of the existing flooring that we already have. We do have a surplus of that from when we did the project previously. So the cost that you see in the quotes is just the additional flooring to help finish up that, to fill that gap of what we currently don't have. And so, unfortunate event that we have to replace a floor after several years, but as you can tell, it's not holding up, and it's not the look and the feel that we want at the community center. So with that, I could take any questions.
Do you know about how long the process might take? Because it's right in the main entrance.
Yeah, right now we're working with with Laser Flooring, who we hope to engage with on the project, and the initial conversation is working to try to do it as an overnight project so we can disrupt that main area. Because right now, it sounds like we're gonna have to grind out all the old adhesive, and in that process, we really wouldn't be able to have an alternative entrance. And so we'd be looking at trying to do it overnight.
Okay.
And then the install could be done during business hours, because we could just section off half of the entrance, do that, then flip it over and do the other one.
Sure.
I do have just a random question, because I just noticed this, and you probably won't know, Barb, but maybe you, Josh. Is this the same stuff we have over at Pebble Creek? Because I'm noticing the same stuff happening there with the vinyl. Like, is it that same kind of moisture situation?
Oh, you'll have to come to the podium, Josh.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna say your name again.
Becky, it wasn't my time up here yet, but no, good question. It's a similar flooring style, but we don't really have the glue coming up like that because the adhesive was removed better and the moisture that Bart alluded to. But similar product, that planking. But like Bart said, it's nice for the community center because we do have a lot of that on hand. So once the moisture barrier is put down and the old adhesive removed, we're confident that that'll hold up a lot better.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe something with Bart and I were talking, thought maybe it was something with the adhesive.
Yeah, that was basically it was coming down to two things. The old adhesive and the new adhesive were not bonding together. And then there was a chemical reaction that was causing that to come up through the cracks and the tiles to be separating, or there's a moisture problem. And
Well, yeah, because I think all the glues now are water-based, so if you got a moisture problem, you're gonna have a problem.
I will say the one good news is we did do the moisture barrier on the gym floor, so you know that's gonna be something down the road that we're really concerned with this problem, that we did take that precaution and that extra step, so.
Okay.
Any other questions? Otherwise, would love to have a motion in a second to approve engaging laser flooring and polished concrete for the completion of the replacement of the community center floor.
Is this something that you're just paying out of building maintenance stuff, or is this
CIP.
CIP?
Yeah, it was a CIP. It was identified as a 2024 CIP project.
Oh, okay.
50,000 was set aside for that, but we're looking at doing the full project in 30.
I'll make a motion to approve engaging laser flooring and polished concrete plus for completion of the replacement of the community center floor.
I'll second.
Motion from Robin, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Becker Community Center locker room renovation. Bart.
All right, thank you again. This one is a little bit more of an extensive project. The locker room spaces at the community center have had some some cosmetic upgrades over the years, but there's, as the years go on, there's more and more dated things within the locker rooms that staff have identified and have really wanted to address. The main one of those is privacy. The locker rooms are not as modern as what most people would expect nowadays, especially with the showering situation there. It's still a group shower in our men's and our women's locker rooms, which has led a lot of our members and our participants to start utilizing and heavily utilizing our family locker rooms, which is a good option, but yet it puts a lot of burden and a lot more traffic into those locker rooms than what we have intended. So we have explored the opportunity to partition off the shower stalls within the men's and women's locker rooms to add more privacy with that. The privacy wall that is up right now, that's kind of that curved S-shaped wall, would get knocked down in order to have room to put up the partitions, to have enough space for ADA and to have enough space for individuals to shower. With that demo of that wall, we would also be redoing the flooring in those spaces, both the men's, the women's, and the family locker rooms, which is a good time right now to do that because that flooring is starting to really show its age and there's wear being done on it. Not to mention there is also some tracked in glue from the floor that has been brought in there, and with that gritty floor, it's really hard to get off of there. And so those are kind of the two big ticket items that we would like to do immediately. Also with that project, also looking at swapping out the benches. The benches are wood right now and they're starting to chip and look faded. So we look more at a plastic bench that's easier to upkeep and clean up. The mirrors, especially in the men's locker room, are bubbling and definitely needing to be replaced. So that scope would be in there. And then the other pieces on there that are in your attachments are the fire sprinklers that are in those spaces are starting to rust and deteriorate based off of the moisture in the room, and then also the chemicals that are coming in from the pool. So with that, it would be putting up new rods that support those sprinklers, because right now they're really rusted and they're deteriorating, as I mentioned, but then also going through and changing out all the sprinkler heads on top of that. So just, privacy is the main issue right now with this project, but then with that, trying to take advantage of also, while we're doing that, it kind of leads into taking care of a few other things cosmetically to kind of get that space cleaned up and looking a little more modern. So with that, I could take any questions that you might have.
So you won't lose any room in the locker rooms, like you have 3 shower heads, you'll still have 3 shower bays?
Correct. Yeah, 3 and then a handicap shower. Yeah.
Okay.
So 4 technically.
I will make a motion to authorize staff to move forward with the locker room renovations as presented.
Motion from Robin, second from Becky. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Annexation, objection period waiver. Oof. Mr. Sanders, sorry.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I don't know why I didn't just take the shorter route and come this way, so I guess I needed my steps. Before you tonight, we received an annexation petition, and in this case, it's a petition by ordinance under Minnesota Statute 414, and you'll see that .033 subdivision 5 if you really want all the numbers. The requirement for this property, it's 120.084 acres is what's being petitioned to annex. It's owned by Ross Imholt of Imholt Bros LLC. He's the sole owner of the property. Under this statute, the sole owner of the property can petition to have unplatted land, which this is, that's under 200 acres annexed into the city by ordinance. In this case, there's a few requirements that have to be met in order for that to occur. The Clear Lake Town Board has to be notified of the request, the petition, and you as well need to be notified, obviously, and as the Sherburne County Board, they have to be notified, and then the state. The Chief Administrative Law Judge is what it says, but it's through the Municipal Boundary Adjustment Unit of the Office of Administrative Hearings. So the copy has been provided to all those parties, so to the Clear Lake Town Board, to the Sherburne County Board, and to the Municipal Boundary Adjustment Office. Those have all been provided to them. The Clear Lake Town Board actually has this item on their agenda this evening at their meeting at 7 o'clock as well. There's a requirement in here that there be a 90-day period in which the boards can object to the annexation. In this case, the property is adjacent to the city already. It's close to the county road, which is in the city as well. And this is on the west side of the city over there by Snuffy's Landing, for those that are online and can see in the packet. So in this case, staff is requesting that council, to have it on the record, ensure that we can send this to the state, waive that 90-day objection period, stating that you have no objections to it, and that you're waiving that period. We've respectfully requested that the Clear Lake Town Board do the same. It's up to them whether they do that or not. Again, this is something that's been close to the city. It's surrounded by solar, so we'll know tonight whether or not they will waive that period. If they do waive it, and council, you waive it, those copies of those waivers, in this case, a form of resolution. In their case, I don't know if it's a letter or resolution, but those would go to the state. Once those are filed with the state, then moving forward, what would occur is this would come back as a annexation by ordinance to the council at the September 3rd meeting. And again, that's all if the Clear Lake Town Board and you waive that 90-day objection period. If not, then the 90 days has to take place before moving forward. If the period's not waived, if there's any objections received during that period, then they can hold a hearing, but again, we'll approach that if that occurs. And with that, I will stand for any questions, but we're seeking for a motion and second adopting resolution 2371, which would waive that 90-day objection period for certain property into the city of Becker, to annex into Becker.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yes, just the 90-day period, so.
I make a motion, we waive the 90-day resolution 2471.
23, it's 24.
It should be 2471, yep.
That's what I said, 24.
Yeah, it had 23 in the.
Oh.
I'll second.
Motion from Mike, second from Becky. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Archery Range Parking Lot, Mr. LaRude.
Mayor Bertram, City Council members, as part of the original specification, the city planned to use the road reclaim material for the parking lot out there, and it is sandier than we anticipated, and it makes a great base material, but not a great driving surface. If you've been out there at all to see it, it gets rutted up pretty easily and pushed around. And so we do need to put a different surface, permanent surface on it. So we sought out Ruck Construction, who had done the excavating out there. And we received a proposal to put additional foot of fill of the material that's already there. So we're going to raise the parking lot up a little bit more to allow for better drainage. And then class 5 and then road millings on top of that. So we'll have a finished surface, much like you would see at the bus garage or out at Lumber 1. It'll look black, and those road millings will bind. We won't have a dust problem. It'll be much less expensive to maintain going forward. And so the proposal we have is for $26,438. That is a not to exceed amount. We may have some additional class 5 from this year's street project to use on there. So we'll work with the contractor if you approve this work and make sure we get proper credit for what we provide to the project. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions. I should say these funds are coming from ARPA, and there are sufficient funds in that fund to cover this additional work.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal from Ruck Excavating in a not to exceed amount of $26,438.
I'll second it.
Motion from Robin, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Consent agenda, Mr. LaRude.
Mayor Bertram, city council members, items for approval on tonight's consent agenda include the revised hiring and termination report, adopt resolution 24-70, accepting the following donations: $3,500 from the Becker Lions Club for Snuffy's Landing, and a $500 anonymous donation to the police department. Approve pay request number 5 and final in the amount of $50,965.35 to McDowell Company for the 2023 Becker Community Center HVAC air handling unit project. The final project cost was $503,400. Approve partial pay request number 1 to Apex Construction Group in the amount of $60,710.75 for the police department at City Hall project. And I will be happy to answer any questions.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
No second.
Motion from Robin, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Payment of the bills.
I'll motion we pay the bills.
Second.
Motion from Becky, second from Robin. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Does council have anything else for the betterment of Becker? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Robin, second from Becky. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 5:26.